What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. Today I wanted to talk about chickens. That's something that we raise on our farm and we love having them around. We really enjoy them. But there's a lot of people that are going out and buying chickens because of COVID-19, and they were worried about food shortages and all these things, so they wanted to make sure they had eggs. And I completely understand. I like to make sure I've got some food, preparations and things to provide for my family and make sure that we don't have to worry about running out of food. That's why we like to raise some of our animals. We've got pigs, chickens, turkeys, and things like that. We've also got some sheep. But anyways, I wanted to talk about what you need to raise chickens, just to make sure that everybody understands that you can't just go buy chickens and just keep them. You need to have some things in order. You need to have some things in place before you get the chickens, okay? First off, you've got to have a place for them to stay. If you're buying little baby chicks and you're getting them when they're only a few days old, you have to have a few things. You need to have a brooder to put them in. You've got to have a heat lamp. You've got to have a water and a feeder. And at this point, when they're little, you want to get small feeders and small waterers, okay? And then you've got to have some sort of bedding material to put in the bottom of your brooder. Some people use wood chips. We actually tried wood chips, and we really didn't like the wood chips. I feel like it didn't do what we wanted it to do. We kept them in the house for a few weeks, so you obviously don't want to smell that. So what we did is we actually used paper towels. They're very easy, they're cheap. We just pull paper towels off, and whenever they, basically they would coat the top with some poop and pee, we would take and just lay paper towels on top of them and just keep covering up. And once that batch moved to another cage, we would clean it out and get ready for the next batch. I normally do between 12 and 15 chicks at a time. That seems to work out perfect for the size tote that I got. I'm not 100% sure what size the tote was that I have. I think it's probably like a 30-gallon tote. It's not real big, but it's not too small. The first week of a chicken's life, they need to be at 95 degrees. So the heat lamp will be really close to them when they're first born, when they're young. And then as they grow up, and every week, the temperature needs to drop by 5 degrees. So you're basically just gonna move it away from them. And you can kind of tell if the temperature's right or if it's wrong based off of how the chicks are acting. If they're right up under the lamp, then they're not warm enough. And if they're scattered and they're away from the lamp, then that means they may be too cold. And then or they may be too hot if they're scattered away from it. And then if they're kind of just scattered evenly and they're just out doing their own thing, then it's probably about right. If you get them too hot, they'll get what we call like a pasty butt, and that'll cover up a vent that they have. And that vent actually, if it's not open, it's almost like you're smothering them, like they can't breathe, and they will die. It's kind of if you don't catch it real fast, it's kind of a quick thing. It's going to kill them really quick. What I like to do is I like to check them daily, especially after about the first week. I just pick them up, turn them over, look at them, and make sure they don't have any poop stuck to their bottom. If they do, you can actually wet either a washcloth or you can wet like a paper towel, and you just have to sit and massage it. You don't want to pull it because you'll pull their hairs out, and you're probably going to kill them if you pull too much off. You can pull stuff out of them. I mean, they're just very fragile at this point in their life. So you have to be really gentle. You want to wet it and just kind of massage it back and forth until it kind of all comes off. And the process may take 5 to 10 minutes per bird. Usually out of every batch that I have, I'll have at least one bird that gets the pasty bottom, and normally as long as you catch it pretty fast, you can take care of it. I've had to clean off maybe 2 or 3 times before it stopped. But usually that means they're too hot. So I'll back my light up, and then sometimes it just comes right back. So you just need to clean it off and keep it clean and make sure that their vent is open and that it's basically so they can breathe. And as a chick grows up, you can kind of move them around, get them into a bigger cage. You're going to need a bigger feeder, a bigger water, unless you want to water them multiple times a day and feed them multiple times a day. They do eat quite a bit of feed, and what I like to do whenever they're babies is I like to start them off on like a 22% protein, and whenever they're full grown and they start laying, I'll put them on a 16% layer pellet, and it's all non-GMO. It's really good for them. It's not got any kind of additives or anything bad for them, no kind of chemicals or anything like that in their feed. And we've never had any problems with ours laying eggs, especially on that laying pellet. It's just a really good feed. It's from Tucker Milling, and I actually get that at Double D's, and it's just always been a really, really good feed. And also, one other thing that you would want to have for your chickens is a shelter. Especially when they get big like that, you want to have somewhere for them to go. You want some laying boxes, some nests for them to lay your eggs. And they need like a little house they can get in to get out of the elements and to get away from any kind of predators. It's really, really good to have an electric netting fence or some sort of electric fence to keep out any kind of dogs, to keep out coyotes, foxes, raccoons, possums, and all those things, because they will kill your chickens. So they need somewhere safe to stay. And a lot of people have a little door and they'll actually lock them up for the night, every night. And once you train them to going back and forth, they will go in there every night and you can just close the door. It's pretty simple once you get them trained. And then also, if you wanted to kind of keep your farm going and never have to go buy chicks, you can get you a rooster. And then if you ever have a hen go broody, you can just let her lay on some eggs for you, and she'll hatch them out for you, and then you can start the process all over again. It's pretty simple, but there is a lot of little things you've got to do. You got to make sure they've got water and feed every day. They do go through some feed, so that's something you're going to have to really stay on top of. And we also do what we call magic water. For the first week, we'll do a gallon of magic water, and it is a garlic clove. It is a fourth of a cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and then water. And mix it all up really, really good. And then we just feed that to them for the first week. That's about how long it takes for them to run out of it, maybe less. And all that's just going to help their immune system. It's going to boost their immune system, and it's also going to give them some electrolytes. It's really, really healthy for them, and it's really good to use right in the beginning. Kind of just gives them an extra boost, and it helps them to be a lot more healthy. If you have any questions about anything I've talked about, or if you've got questions about a brooder, questions about a heat lamp, feeders, waterers, or any of those things, just put something down in the comments below, and I will try my best to get you in line with whatever you need, where you need to go to get it, and the cheapest place to get it. And usually you can buy a lot of this stuff on Amazon too, so you don't have to go run around and try to find it. You can look it up on Amazon, and I may eventually put some links down below. If you have anything that you would want to look at or whatever, you can just look at those links. I'm gonna try to get the best prices that I can find, and I'll put them in the links below. But thanks for watching, and as always, God bless.